here today, and welcome to our members of the media, and welcome to our viewers that have joined us on Skysports. And welcome back to our fight week that we have been hosting here at Box Park, Croydon, ahead of the rematch this Saturday, live on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock. Over 150 territories will be watching the rematch between Billam-Smith and Richard Riakporhe, this time for the WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the world. It's not just a boxer fight week, it's not just a Sky Sports fight week, it's not just a WBO fight week, it's also a Crystal Palace fight week, as Selhurst Park is celebrating 100 years by bringing the World Championship to that historic venue. Today is the official press conference, and we're going to begin with the undercard portion of our press conference. I'd first like to welcome the host of the press conference from Sky Sports, Mr. Andy Scott, and the CEO and founder of Boxer and the promoter of this event, Mr. Ben Shalom. They're joined by quite a cast of superstars on stage. I'm going to move around as I introduce those. First, coming here to the edge, she is undefeated. She's an up-and-coming young superstar from Sevenoaks, Kent, England. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Francesca Hennessy. On the opposite end of the table, welcome back after a classic fight earlier this year against Joshua Buatsi. He returns to the ring. Please welcome the British, Commonwealth, and European former champion, Super Dan Aziz. Now this next matchup could get a little feisty, a clash of personalities for the IBF International Championship. First, this man is undefeated with 12 wins, 10 of which coming by way of knockout. He is known as the African King. Please welcome Eritse Ezra Erenka. And his opponent is probably the fastest rising star in boxing today. He is the undefeated, the viral sensation, the Olympic silver medalist, the drunken master, the surgeon, the Ben Whitaker. And finally, for this undercard press conference, a great matchup for the Commonwealth and European Cruiserweight Championships. First, fighting at a champs camp in Manchester, I want to welcome the former IBF European and IBO World Cruiserweight Champion, Jack One Smack Massey. And his opponent from Brixton, the former British, Commonwealth, and IBF International Cruiserweight Champion, Isaac I.C. Chamberlain. Andy Scott, Ben Shalom, the floor is yours.
Big Mo, thanks very much, and welcome everybody. Thank you for giving up your time to come down here today to Box Park, Croydon, just a stone throw away from Selhurst Park. As Big Mo said, 100 years at Selhurst Park, and what a card to grace that setting for this brilliant fight night. Ben Shalom, we'll get to the fighters very, very quickly, but everybody's been talking about this main event, and quite rightly, but there's so much talent on this undercard. You must be delighted to get these quality fights over the line.
Yeah, it's a huge show, a huge spectacle, thanks to all the media, huge media turnout, but there's not often you get to put on stadium shows. There's not often you get to put on main events, but an undercard like this as well. For me, the top 4 cruiserweight in the country going together in 50-50 fights. The fastest growing rising star in British boxing. It's great to see Fran Hennessy put her name in the mix as well, and Dan Aziz back after his fight against Buatsi. It's got everything. Doors open from 4:30. It's looking like a huge turnout on Saturday night, and really it's a celebration of British boxing, and that's what Saturday night's about.
Yeah, I should just say that you're trying to create a bit more of an event feel, so we've got a Kiss FM takeover, there's a fan zone where we've got some of the Boxer stable coming out to meet the fans, also the Euros are going to be televised, and also some big name live performers up the sleeve as well, which I think are going to be revealed in good time. Talking of big performers, Francesca Hennessy, great to see you up here at top table. Fight number 4, progressing nicely. What do you want to show us on Saturday night? Just how excited are you to be on the big platform again?
I'm really excited. It's my first stadium fight, and I've been really working on things since my last fight. I've been working on putting the pressure on my opponents to make them feel like they're in quicksand, yeah, so I'm really working on things, and I'm really excited and happy to be on this massive card.
How much do you think is still to come? I know Bradley Ski, your dad, really good to see you here as well. They've got high hopes for you, and they say you're a quick learner. So So, under the bright lights on Saturday, what do you think that you can show us that you have gone away and worked on since you fought in February against Laura Benito?
Oh, you know, I've been working on the things I needed to perfect. So just as I said, more of the pressure, also the back foot. You know, you can never be 100% at everything. You can always learn. So I'm just going in there and I'm going in to put on a show. You know, for all these supporters who are coming to spend their hard-earned money to watch us all fight. I believe they deserve a very exciting performance, and that's what I'm going in there to give.
I think everybody's going to give the same answer, but there's some big egos and some big names on this card. But how rewarding would it be at the end of the night that people are talking about Francesca Hennessy? Is that your aim to make sure everybody's talking about you when the show's all said and done?
Yeah, look, definitely. I believe people will be talking about me after this fight. Every fight, you know, you want people talking about you and talking about your performance, how exciting it is, and knowing that you've entertained people. That's the most important thing as well, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch the show.
Francesca, wish you all the best. Just a quick word on Francesca, Ben. I think when Nick came to everybody, came to Sky, came to you at Boxer and said, look, she needs the big stage. I think we've heard fathers and we've heard trainers say, I've got this great prospect, and it doesn't always come true, but so far so good from Francesca. She has lived up to billing.
Yeah, I mean, she brings something different. We've done a lot in women's boxing. Savannah Marshall, Natasha Jonas, Lauren Price, all world champions, all had great journeys. Caris Artingstall as well. The difference with Fran, they're all Olympians. They're all girls with great amateur careers. Mick felt Fran has to turn over early. She's got that professional style. She brings something that you don't really see in women's boxing. And I think her name is going to be right in that mix with those big stars. But as I say, I don't believe we've seen a talent like this in women's boxing before. Someone that boxes and moves, someone that's made for the professional stage. She's the youngest ever, or the youngest women's licensed boxer in the whole country. She's the first of that generation. You know, most of the fighters that we signed, 30 plus, coming at the end of a 10-year-long amateur career. This is something very different, and as I say, she'll have a name with the Savannahs, with the Tashas, with the Laurens very, very soon, and yeah, delighted to have her in the stable and building the next stars of women's boxing.
I should say well done to Savannah Marshall on her PFL MMA debut at the weekend as well. Let's go down to the other end. Dan Aziz, great to have you back, and it is a chance to get straight back on the horse after a first career defeat to your good friend Joshua Buatsi. So, what have you gone away and thought about, worked on, what do you want to show us?
I've just gone away, gone back to the drawing board, just realised, you know, there's always room for improvement, there's always so much more to learn, and you know, I'm just ready to prove that I'm, you know, still one of the best light heavyweights, not only in Britain but in the world, and this is where the journey starts again. Just like when I first turned over, had to work my way up, again taking the defeat, you know, gone back, and now climbed the ladder again.
I've heard fighters talk about it before. You almost feel that you're invincible. Now you know that you're human. How do you process defeat, and how desperate are you to not feel that feeling again?
Do you know what? It's not so much about processing the defeat, because we all are human. You know, there's boxers, greats that I couldn't even tie their shoelaces, multiple losses and whatnot. But this is where, you know, you define your character and you know really and truly who you are. It's all good when you're winning and you know you're getting this belt and everything's plain sailing. But when you get that knockback, it's how you come back from it. You know, how you challenge adversity. And I think June 15, as much as I say, yeah, you know, I'm back on it and whatnot, when I get in there, that's when the true character, Super Dan Aziz, what he's about, is going to show after a loss. So,
yeah, great message. What about Avoya Set? Very, very good amateur. He was in the WSB as well. He's a handful. If he's coming to win, then we expect that he is, because he's probably looking at you thinking he's coming off a defeat. This is a good time to get in. I think TV fight-wise though, styles should really gel in that one. Is that what you're expecting?
Yeah, no, for sure. In training, my coaches just kept saying, you ain't got to look for this guy. So, and I just replied, yeah, you ain't got to look for me. So I think this is going to be, yeah, one of those fights. I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, he has an extensive amateur pedigree. He's tough, he's durable. I know boxers who have fought him and say, yeah, he really comes for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think any card benefits from having Dan Aziz on it, just because of the fights that he's been in have been so TV friendly. When you decided to come to Selhurst Park, how important was it that you had good local talent on there, and Dan Aziz definitely ticks that box?
Yeah, he's a fan favourite. He's become one of the most popular fighters in British boxing. But for me, the Buatsi fight was a learning fight. It was his first fight at world level. He'll look back on that with a little bit more experience at that world level and felt he could have won that night. And that's what this is now all about. He wants the big fights. If it was up to him, he'd be fighting Lyndon Arthur on Saturday night. I believe he'll be fighting him next. This is still a tough fight. It's great to have him back. South London and proud, and it's great to have him in the stadium like this, but that light heavyweight division, that British light heavyweight division is absolutely huge right now, and Dan wants to get right back to the top of that, and I believe he will.
Yeah, definitely. I echo that message. Light heavyweight division is really cooking at the moment domestically. Let's move to the cruiserweights. Good to see Jack Massey. Good to see you. So the gym's fine at the moment. You help Lawrence Ho prepare, and he went out there and did the business in Poland. Now it's your turn. How confident are you that you beat Isaac Chamberlain on Saturday, and what have you got to do to beat him?
Listen, I'm the most confident I've ever been going into a fight. I just know I've got this. It was my little girl's first birthday yesterday, and I told her before I left to come down here, bring you to United Champions. He'll have to have a shotgun in that ring on Saturday night. He's not going to stop him. There's no stopping him. He'll be like a man possessed.
I've already heard the phrase from some pundits of picking the upset, and some people have pulled me and said, well, what would actually be the upset? Do you see yourself as a favourite or an underdog going into this? I mean, in some ways, do you have to adopt that underdog mentality anyway?
Listen, I don't read into it too much what people say. I know I'm a level above him. I know I'm going to beat him on Saturday night. That's all there is to it.
What do you think of Isaac as a fighter?
He's a good fighter. He's up there. I think he's. He had his back and forth with medals and his champs, and I think he's a level above them guys, and I think he deserves to be at this level. I just think I'm a level above him and get that job done on Saturday night and not for world title.
What do you think that you do better than him?
I'm better than him all round. He's a clown. You can tell he's nervous. He's clowning around. He's it's what it is, mate. He's got man up. It's what it is. Don't be nervous. Don't clown around. Just showed it a bit too much. Just be a man about it. Get in the ring and have a fight. You don't need to do all this clowning.
Oh yeah, keep them nervous. Alright.
Well, let me ask you, are there any nerves there? It's the gateway. It's the European title in its own right, which is a big belt, and it should be given its moment. But this is also the gateway to big fights, notably potentially the top of the bill from Billam-Smith and Riakporhe down the line.
Yeah, no nerves. It's just exciting. I like being in this environment, and I like seeing everybody coming out, big fight feeling. It's just a nice thing to be a part of. I like soaking things like this in because one day I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. So why not enjoy myself and be myself instead of big stiff Jack over there acting all serious like Shrek. Just be calm, bro. I'm calm. This is just who I am. I'm not trying to play a part, bro. I'm just chilling.
You are a brilliant wind-up merchant, though, if I do say so myself.
I wouldn't say I'm a wind-up merchant. I'm just be myself, man. Just be myself, bro. I love it. Are you looking at me?
Do you believe that you're getting under Jack's skin?
I don't care. You know? I don't care. I don't care. It's just, I'm just enjoying myself, enjoying the fight because the preparations is done. The hard training, the hard stuff is done. Now it's just about enjoying the moment and enjoying Saturday night when South London is full up.
You did go head-to-head yesterday, though, and it was a serious head-to-head. And when Savage Dan asked Jack how he sees the fight going, he said it ends up with Isaac flat on his back. What was your response to that?
Have I ever been flat on my back before?
No one's catching it.
Hey. He's going to be the first one to do it.
Jack is saying you're going to be the first to do it.
I didn't hear a word what he said there.
He said,
Are you going to be the first person
to put you on the deck?
back?
I'm not spot. I told you.
That's just, you know what you are, bro.
I don't get why you keep
You're going to
thinking
give the general bullshit questions, bro. You're going to give them generic questions, bro. The ABC guys. I've seen people like you before, bro. You're an ABC fighter, bro.
You do the ABC very
You're just a big lump, bro. You're just a big lump that can fight with. You're gonna throw the jab, the right hand, the left hook. You're gonna come, you know, and when Gallagher's gonna go, use the jump, so go. I see through you, bro. And I know what's gonna happen on Saturday night. We've got a game plan for you. We've got a game plan. You're just going off your win over Joseph Parker, your loss over Joseph Parker, like you survived. At the end of the round, you're celebrating because you never got knocked out. Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. You was just celebrating like, oh my days, we survived Joseph Parker. Oh my God, let's start jumping for joy because you survived.
So we're 2 days away, we'll see.
We'll see what? What are we gonna see?
We're gonna find out the first round when I land on it.
Huh?
Basically.
Huh?
I'm gonna be able to tell by your face.
What? Oh, look at the time to show my transformation. That's not what you're saying.
You're a clown, mate. Have a little bit more respect for yourself.
That's what they all say until they
Showing your nerve.
Well, I think we can all agree that this one has got the potential for a good fight.
I know why you're looking at Ben. Ben isn't gonna help.
What?
I know why you're looking at him. He's not gonna back you up.
I'm not gonna lie. Someone needs to fix these bags.
Just me and you sat there.
Need to fix the bags.
Well, Ben, just a word on that fight. I think I caught a stray there for some of them generic, boring questions, but I'll let you off that one. Okay, don't worry. Very rarely does a replacement fight perhaps tick more boxes than the original. Best of wishes to Michel Sislak in his recovery. But when Jack Massey stepped in, I think UK fight fans certainly all sat up in their chairs. This is a very, very good fight.
It's a huge fight. For me, as I said, the top 4 cruiserweights in the country on one card, 2 50-50 fights. Isaac's worked hard to be here. When we first got involved with him, he took Chris Billam-Smith on 6 weeks' notice and always gives us great fights. Jack Massey, I've known him for a long time as well. Obviously, Isaac mentioned his Joseph Parker fight there, but he's a tough man and one of the best cruiserweights in the country who will really fancy his chances. It's a 50-50 fight, I can't call it. It's a lot on the line, it's a European title, and the winner will have an eye on the winner of the main event as well. That's how big this fight is in both these men's careers, and so, yeah, I think for me, the fight of the night, and one I'm really looking forward to.
Well, best of luck to both fighters. Let's move on to our next fight, which was born at a press conference at exactly this point during Wardley Clark Fight Week. Ezra Aranika, perhaps I think in the nicest of terms, not many people knew too much about you before that press conference. On Saturday night, are we going to know a hell of a lot more? Can you be the man to beat Ben Whittaker?
First of all, I want to say thank Sean, thank God, I'm glad, thanks to the universe for putting me here today. It's not by my power, but by God's power. Yeah, on June 15th on Saturday, a new light heavyweight prospect is going to be born. British boxing fans are in for a treat. Get crashed in a press conference a few months ago. I was got to be here today. Everything was calculated, and I'm happy. Yeah, the fight has been made. The hard work has been done. I have a great task to accomplish, fighting Ben Whittaker. He's a great fighter. He's an Olympian. He's slick. Has skills. But yeah, I bring the power. He brings the skill. Or I bring the will. So it's going to be a different ballgame. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I feel like a kid in Disneyland because this is what dreams are made of. I just can't wait to perform. See what I'm made of, see what Ben is made of, and give the great British boxing fans a night to remember.
Ben Whittaker, bring you straight in. The line that you gave us at the time was, I'm going to make sure nobody does this again. I'm going to punish Ezra to show that you can't just turn up at a press conference. Land yourself a fight. So what's your response to him now it's here?
Firstly, little round of applause, because I don't know where you was yesterday, you went missing. So I'm so thankful you turned up. Buying for my first time, I thought it was going to be shadow boxing, you know what I mean? So thank you for turning up. And you're gonna see why I'm not no undercard on the main event come Saturday.
What do you have to do to beat him?
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be Ezra.
Just be yourself.
That's it.
And every time you walk to that ring, just know it's gonna get scarier and scarier and scarier. When you're getting your hands wrapped, it's okay, your heart will race a little bit. But just make sure you take some deep breaths and you've got a couple of water bottles to calm yourself down. When you're tying your boots, when you're putting your shorts on, it's gonna get scarier and scarier and scarier. It's okay. I'll take you through a couple rounds. It will be painful, but I'll take you through. Every time you're about to stumble, I'll pick you back up. But don't worry about it. It will be over before you know it.
Yeah, no problem. Fear is my friend, so it's okay. It's gonna be a great night and just gonna have fun. So yeah, let's go, champ.
You're actually, I do want to make sure that this gets reported. So you're balancing your life at the moment. So this is a huge chapter, and at the end of this month you've got another huge chapter. You'll be Dr. Ezra Araniko, is that right?
Yeah, so throughout camp I've been working on my thesis, my PhD thesis, while training every day. So submitting the thesis end of this month, hopefully by the end of this year I defend it, then I'll become a doctor. So yeah, so it's been a great camp and 2 turning points for me in my life. So yeah, I'm excited, as I said. I'm like a kid in Disneyland.
Ben, that would make it the doctor against the surgeon, so who comes out on top in that?
That sounds cute. But at the end of the day, he's 12-0, 10 knockouts. He's got more knockouts than I got fights. You know what I mean? But when I do what I do, I put on my display, you see why I'm different to these type of guys.
Do you believe that you have seen the likes of Ezra Araniko before, being a world-class amateur international Olympian, that people can talk it, that you haven't seen anything like me before, but deep down do you feel that you have fought someone like him before?
Yeah, you know, I've seen this style many, many times. You don't get to buy Olympic medals. I worked hard for it. And at the end of the day, he's taught the talk. Saturday he's got to walk the walk. I've done this many, many times. I'm comfortable up here. Just make sure you turn up Saturday, put on a great fight for the fans.
Yeah, as I said, it's going to be a great night. Boxing, me and Ben going to go on the line. Hopefully we can create the first round, like Marvin Argan to wins. I know he likes to win, so let's go. So me and him can get it done, and everyone gonna be excited, and you're gonna get your money's worth on June 15th.
Well, we wish you both all the best. Ben and I think we both looked at each other during that press conference. I'm not sure I believe that it would manifest itself and lead to this point, but it has. Ben Whittaker has that target on his head. Everybody wants to be the first man to beat Ben Whittaker, and it does lend itself to this type of spectacle. You know, we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think it's time for Ben to make another statement. There is not another fighter where we get more requests to fight, inundated with light heavyweights all over the world that want to fight Ben Whittaker because of what he brings. And he's got to make a statement of why that's the wrong thing to be doing. I think Ezra is a great opponent. He's coming here with heavy hands, 10 knockouts out of 12. It should play into Ben's hands. But yeah, it's time to make another statement. This is the last fight before, hopefully we headline in the hometown in September, and it's a stadium show. And for me, it's a fight to really look out for and to really watch with Ezra coming in like this.
Thank you to all of you. Best of luck. I should just say we've also got Devon Miller against Edwin Mosquera, Mitchell Frierson against Marco Simmons, and Luis Puchete in a 4-rounder at heavyweight. We're going to break now for...
Last thing I was going to say, final tickets at boxer.com. I think we're over 15,000 now. We open at 4:30. Doors close very, very early on the night, so make sure you get in there before 6:30 when doors will close.
Okay, we're going to break their head-to-heads now. If everybody could just stay in their seats, you'll get your shot to get your head-to-head, and then everyone's available for one-on-ones.
5 years ago, the gentlemen in the Midnight Train fought, and now in a stadium at Selhurst Park for the 100th anniversary of Selhurst Park, this time for the world title, they meet again in the rematch, live on Sky Sports and NBC's Peacock. In over 150 territories, will you be able to watch Chris Billam-Smith versus Richard Riakporhe 2. And now to kick off this main event press conference, I want to welcome back on stage from Sky Sports, Mr. Andy Scott, and the CEO and founder of Boxer and the promoter of this championship main event, Mr. Ben Shalom. And now introducing the challenger, joined by his trainer, Angel Fernandez. He was victorious the first time they fought, now looking to repeat and win his first world championship. From London, the undefeated, the former British and WBA Intercontinental Cruiserweight Champion. He is the Midnight Train, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Richard Riakporhe. And now the defending champion, joined by his trainer, Shane McGuigan. 1 year ago, he dethroned an undefeated champion. He then defended his belt against a world-renowned veteran where he stopped him in the 8th round. This man brought world championship boxing to Bournemouth. Please welcome the former British, Commonwealth and European Cruiserweight Champion. Taking his belt on the road, he is the reigning, defending WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman, Chris Billam-Smith. Andy Scott, Ben Shalom, to you guys.
Thanks very much, Big Mo. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for staying around. What a fight we have on our hands on Saturday night. There's so many levels to this, so many layers. A rematch. Two hungry fighters who want to run it back, and this time for a world title. There really is nothing like a domestic world title fight. 5 years, in some ways it feels like it's gone very quickly. But actually when you think of everything in between, it feels like it's taken its time. But all roads have led back to Saturday night, 100 years of Selhurst Park. It's another stadium fight. Ben Shalom, just briefly before we go to the fighters. Feels like we've been talking about this fight forever and now it's here. It really is exciting.
5 years, did you say? Yeah, it feels like forever. I think both fighters have improved so much in the past couple of years, in particular fighters that we work very closely with. Chris Billam-Smith from European level, from headlining for the first time. This is his 3rd world title fight, back to back, headlining another stadium. It's been an unbelievable journey, and he'll want the journey to continue with Richard Riakporhe, the first fighter that we signed. The first fighter that opened in an 8-rounder on our first Skysports broadcast, worked incredibly hard, improved a lot as well, and now finds himself challenging for a world title against Chris Billam-Smith. Richard Riakporhe being the only man to ever beat Chris. He's got everything. As you said, the rematch, they know each other well. It's a domestic world title fight in the stadium. For British boxing fans, it doesn't get quite bigger than this.
We welcome both trainers to the top table as well, but let's go straight to the fighters and everyone will get their chance. Let's go to the champion, Chris Billam-Smith. Worked so desperately hard to win that world title. What do you need to do on Saturday to make sure it's going back down the road to Bournemouth?
Be myself. That's what I need to do on Saturday, is be myself. All the experience I've had of world championship fights, you know, and camps and being on those big shows, headlining the big shows, just use all that experience and go in there and perform.
Heard that word a lot in the build-up, experience. Can you quantify and qualify just how important that is? Can you put yourself in Richard Riakporhe's shoes? It wasn't so long ago that you were at the top table for your first world title fight. You were walking into the stadium for your first stadium fight. How important is that experience?
Yeah, the experience is everything. It's the experience I had even before that, going into that stadium fight, where you know, I luckily headlined shows back home and had that big occasion, which was a great experience I needed for going into the World Cup fight at the stadium. So that was key for me. And I mean, Johnny Nelson said yesterday, you can't buy experience, you can't fake it. You have to experience to get it, to gain that. And thankfully I've got that.
How much better do you think you are now compared to when you fought the first time in 2019?
I'm different in so many ways. It's so irrelevant because I always see it as a different person. Almost see myself as like it's 20 years ago in boxing terms. It seems that long ago because I'm such a different fighter. And yeah, it's been a great journey from then to now. And it's the experience and the growth that I've had has been massive.
In a number of ways, it wouldn't be a Chris Billam-Smith fight week if there wasn't some sort of drama going on in the background. And you probably won't tell us, but what have we had so far? We've had completing on a house, I think. Was Frank, your son, born around the time? You were masking illness last time. I do have to say, on the surface this time, you've come a very relaxed and happy fighter. So now is your chance to tell us the truth.
No, I'm good. It's actually, this is a very stress-free week for me, and I'm enjoying it. You know, it's great to be on a massive show in London as well. You know, it's the capital, it's where the massive fights happen, and yeah, I'm just enjoying every moment.
Let's go to the challenger. We'll come back to you, Chris, in due time. Welcome to your first world title final press conference. In the build-up, you're describing yourself as a salivating hyena. As you sit here now, how would you describe how you're feeling and what we're going to get on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a very long time, as you know, and I'm just hungry. I'm ready to challenge for this title, take this title, and I want to win some more titles.
You've been very good in the build-up with some of your verbal attacks, and I think when you're on Skysports News, you said depending on what footwear he wears to the press conference will determine how I feel about what round I knock him out in. So if you sized him up, and can you give us a little bit more of an insight to what you think now on Saturday?
Well, I need to see his shoes first. I haven't seen what he's wearing, but it's just a bit of banter. It's just a bit of banter. But yeah, you know what you're gonna get. It's a proper fight. A lot of people love the first one, and they're very interested in seeing the second one. So we're ready to get on.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same question I asked Chris there. How much do you think you are a better fighter compared to 2019? What would the Richard Riakporhe that sits here now, what would he do to the Richard Riakporhe that fought in the first fight? Is it chalk and cheese? Do you believe that you have improved that much under Angel Fernandez, that you are a better all-rounded fighter?
Absolutely. I know my way around the ring now. Boxing IQ, I've been in a lot of situations in the ring, and I'm able to overcome them. So yeah, it's given me a lot more confidence. My team is very professional, training up in London University. We've got the best facilities in the country. Very meticulous that I'm working with. So you know, it's definitely added to my game. You know, all those little sense it adds, and you're going to see when we fight on Saturday.
How relevant is the first fight? I think everybody can admit and appreciate that you are two very different fighters now. You're both 9-0 at the time, and you know now what are we, 19 and 19 wins and one loss for Chris and 17 for you. But do you believe that you've made the necessary adjustments that you can win this fight inside the distance? Chris was very vocal that he believes he will win this fight inside the distance.
Well, yeah.
Is it even important to you?
To be honest, win is the most important thing. I'm naturally a power puncher. I look for the knockouts. I don't want to go 12 rounds. I always want to finish the fight within the distance, which is why people have grown to like me over time. And yeah, we know how to skin a cat in many different ways.
Crystal Palace have been very, very supportive of you. If you dared yourself to start to visualise how you feel at the top of the ring when you've got over 15,000 in there cheering you on. I put it to you earlier in the week that might be added pressure, but you almost stop me to know it's a privilege. It won't affect me in a negative way. It's nothing but positive.
No, it's a privilege to have that type of support in South London, where all of us are able to resonate with each other. We know how it is growing up in such a tough environment, and it's breeded us. It's basically conditioned us for these moments. It's given us a different type of mentality. That's why we say we're cut from a different cloth. To grow up there, you have to be tough, and to have that support. People will I get a lot of random people coming up to me and saying, look, Rich, I know you're going to do it. Because they know once we get these opportunities, we take them more fast.
Chris told us earlier in the week that he believes he wins this fight inside the distance. And when I put that to you, you said that you don't think that Chris believes his own words. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I do stand by him because I've never heard him say that until recently. He could have said that from the very beginning. I'm not saying what I've been saying from the very beginning, so I don't take that. I don't take that.
You also said you think he's in decline, and that you've heard through the boxing grapevine, which is a weird and wonderful place, that he is on the decline.
To be fair, I never really watched Chris. Obviously, I was at the fights. I was more watching as a boxing fan, and sometimes I go into and I'll see some of the comments people saying about the performances, and to say the least, it wasn't really good. A lot of people mentioned about deterioration, and it kind of brought it to light, and that's when I thought, you know what, let me see what this deterioration is really about. You know, because boxing is not easy. Sometimes you make mistakes, sometimes you have an off day, have a bad performance. It's normal. It happens all the time. But when I watch the fights back, you know, from a technical analysis, I started to see a lot of gaps. And I wondered, what's the difference? I watched my fight back, and I noticed he was much more live, fresh. I feel like it's a normal wear and tear on a boxer. And when you're taking too much shots, when you're gifted with a team like CBS, sometimes you want to say it's not affecting you, but it's science. And you can't avoid it, which is why you can't stay in our brand forever. And we're going to see what he has left. Maybe he's still around, maybe he's not. But it all depends on when I land the shots.
I'll give you the chance to come back on that and also bring in the wider team and Shane McGuigan. Are you on the decline? Is the word on Twitter the right word to take? And Shane, do you have any thoughts on that as well?
To be honest, I can hear a lot of what's been said, but my answer to the deterioration thing is I think he's just hoping for it, to be honest, and that's what he's hoping for. So there's no decline, and you'll see that what's happening now.
I think one of the things that we all took from some of the things that we said in the build-up is that, yeah, Richard has gone with Adrian Fernandez and improved perhaps his all-round game, but Chris's punching power is being slept on in some regard, that he is punching a lot harder now compared to 2019. What else do you think he's added to his game?
Just all around, he's got the experience, he's using his jab a lot more effective. He doesn't waste energy, he doesn't run around the ring, he's a lot more poised when he's in there, he uses his feints to his advantage, and he's got that inner belief. You know, these are the things that can make those attacks a lot more meaningful. Do you know what I mean? Like as a novice pro coming out of the amateurs, you don't know how to set up attacks. Does their power really increase? A little bit. Does their jab and speed really increase? Not really. It's just about how they set the attacks up, how they go about it, how they sustain attacks, and that's something that he's learned how to do. You've just seen him with the Lawrence Coley fight, and he's just a completely different beast these days.
I listened to the radio this morning and they were disputing the betting odds as to why Chris is such a large underdog. I mean, any thoughts on why that might be? Has everybody got this one?
It's 12 to 1. I think it's 12 to 1 or 14 to 1 for a knockout. So, for Chris Billam-Smith. But 215 and a half stone guys like backing each other. I think that's pretty good odds.
Let's bring in Adrian Fernandez. I understand it's difficult up here hearing what each other are saying. What have you done with Richard that you think has made him a better all-round fighter since he's been with you? We know that he came to you as a very explosive, I think, if you don't mind saying, a raw puncher at times. What have you worked on, and what do you think the key to victory is for Richard Riakporhe?
Obviously, we started I working on the technical side, a bit more tactically, but I think maybe a bit more spiritual, mentally, and he's going to be ready. We expect him the best. CBS, we have a lot of respect for the team, and they're going to expect the best Richard Riakporhe.
What advice can you give Richard from a mentality point of view in terms of a packed out stadium, the first world title fight? Is it just trying to keep a lid on things until you need to flip the switch, or is he a natural performer anyway and you don't need to worry about that?
He is a natural performer, all these things we speak in the camp, he knows what he needs to do. He's a professional, and he will rely on me in the corner just to see if we need to change things. So he is going to be a very good fighter.
I'll just give the opportunity to give one final message. So I'll ask you first, Richard, what is your final message to CBS?
My final message is just to take care.
That's a nice message. What is your message to? Probably not what we want here for sports, but hey, it's a nice thing. What's your message?
Thank you.
Maybe this is one of those where you don't necessarily need the table to go flying and the verbal battle. If you've watched the first fight, I think everybody knows deep down it's a very, very close fight, a very, very good fight. Both fighters have obviously got away in improved. And I think my poor reputation here about to stake it, this is now not to be a very, very good fight. Ben, help me out there.
It's huge. Look, they know each other well. There's a lot of respect there, but equally there's a big rivalry. Chris will want to get that one loss off his record and move on to unification. Richard's chance, and best chance, and probably the best chance he'll ever get to become a world champion. There's a huge amount on the line on Saturday night for both guys, a life-changing amount on the line. And doors will open, as I say, 4:30, over 15,000 already in there. Anyone in London who wants to witness a 50-50 spectacle and a great advert for the sport. We'll see you down on Saturday. Thank you to the fighters, thank you to Skysports, and thank you to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I just actually want to follow up on that. What a great advert for watching the two of you on, the way you carry yourselves as two great role models. May the best man win on the night. Just to echo what Ben said, there's the Kiss FM takeover, the fan zone with the Euros, and some big name live performers still to be announced, and approximate 10 PM main event, so it's a nice early one for everyone at home as well. We're going to break now for the final face-off. Everybody stay in their seats so you can get a clean shot, and both fighters will be available for one-on-ones. 6:30 Skysports action. Make sure you join us there.